Hi, everyone. This is Megan.
And this is Steven.
And this is the Synchrony Podcast, where we talk about transforming apostolic dating culture and ending loneliness in the church.
One podcast at a time.
One podcast at a time, one engagement at a time. Shout out today to the beautiful, beautiful couple, Ryan and Victoria.
Sorry. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow, that was really anticlimactic.
Yeah, sorry.
We're thrilled for you guys, even though Steven's celebration noises didn't quite get to where he was planning for them to go.
Well, that's the noise, not the coughing, but the boom, 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 boom is what I've been doing every time Lily gets a verse quoted correctly. And so that's kind of my go-to celebration right now.
Yeah, our daughter is in baby beginner Bible quizzing.
Yeah.
And has been learning her verses. But
Yeah.
anyway, Ryan and Victoria, we are thrilled for you guys.
Congratulations, y'all.
So many congratulations. Engaged on Malibu Beach, which sounds super romantic.
And no, makes my engagement feel...
It was perfect.
Oh, okay.
It was perfect. But it does sound very romantic.
I won't finish that sentence then.
We are excited for you guys. Absolutely thrilled.
Yes. Congratulations, y'all.
Yeah, love it. We're going to try to make this a pretty speedy episode because you had to duck out of the Discord with the guys to do this. If you didn't hear about this last week, we've started a Discord for...
Yes, it's been awesome.
Yeah, so it's been running for about a week. Just do like a 5-second, just review of how it's been going.
5 seconds. I can't talk that little.
I'm setting the bar really low, knowing that you're going to blow that out of the water.
Okay, good.
But yeah.
As long as your expectations are set appropriately.
Yeah. How the Discord, just for those of you who don't know, it's
Here, let me explain it.
Oh yeah, you do it.
Jeez, lady.
Yeah, you're better at it.
Yeah, no, not really, but you're much better, but it's my Discord, so.
That's fair.
Yeah, the Discord is going fantastic. We've been having people interact in there every single day. We have a bunch of guys, single, married, and there have people hanging out in the chat throughout the day. Like some people work from home, so they're able to hop in and hop out between meetings while they're trying to do like busy work at their jobs. We have a lot of different chats going. We have different resources in there that are people really loving. There's questions for coaches. We have sections where we're talking about ways to help we can grow together. And honestly, it has a lot more interaction than I expected it at first. So
I'm really glad to hear that, because I feel like it's weird when you pull together people who've never really met in person into an online space when they have to, but I guess like people are used to making those online connections these days. So
yeah, well, and usually with a Discord, you go with a mindset of like, okay, I know what I'm joining for.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people join a Discord for a video game. Right. Some people join for a streamer / person who's setting it up. Like you're going to interact with them.
Yeah.
This is like a group of guys who are apostolic who want to hang out, but with a healthy growth mindset.
Yeah.
Like we're going to encourage healthy conversations. Doesn't mean we're not going to have fun. We've been laughing most of the time that we've been in here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, we're just having a good time.
I'm so excited about it.
And there's big age variation too, which has been pretty cool.
Yeah, that's huge. I'm really, really pumped about it. I'm glad that it's been going well.
Yeah. So if you want to join, if you're a single or married guy, or if you know of someone who is in this community or wants to learn about it, the link will be in the description.
And if you don't know what we're talking about or why we have a Discord that's just for men, go listen to our episode last week. But it's something that we're trying to help create kind of a safety net for our guys and make sure that we're able to build that cohesion that they might not have in their local congregation. So we're really excited to see how it's coming together.
Yeah, me too.
So we're going to get right into this episode so you can get back to hanging out with the guys.
Yeah.
This is going to be like a good old Synchrony how to date episode, I feel like.
Yeah. We're just not on a couch.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't had one of those in a minute where we're kind of just like talking about common dating roadblocks.
Yeah.
So this is one of the ones that has been sloshing around in my head for a little while. So we're going to talk about, really at the core, it's like misconceptions around what talking means.
Okay.
How do we define talking? Because like we throw...
You mean in the context of like going into a relationship or an interest in a relationship talking?
Like when we're talking about the talking stage, right? That's not language that we've developed in Synchrony. Obviously, that's coming from culture. What do we mean when we're referencing the talking stage?
We as in Synchrony?
Like you and me, like when we're talking about it to single people.
Oh, when I think of talking, it's two people who are interested in each other, that are getting to know each other to see if they're a good candidate for a relationship.
Yeah.
Um, but generally speaking, it's in the first couple weeks. After
Right.
that, things should be more clearly defined.
Yeah. So talking is a form of dating, and I'll stand on that. If you are talking to someone, you are engaging in a dating interaction, right?
Yeah.
From the perspective of if
Pre-dating.
yeah, kind of. I mean, if you are a single individual and you're talking to another single individual and that is your only point of connection is that you are two single individuals of compatible ages interacting in some way, shape, or form, you have nothing else that necessitates your communication. In my opinion, you're talking.
Yeah.
You're screening for a dating partner.
Yeah,
And people
100%.
I feel like people can say like, "Oh, like you can talk and it just be about making friends." And that's true if you're in a group of people at your church where everyone's communicating because you belong to the same church body,
Yeah.
right? Or if you're communicating because you belong to the same, missions organization, or you belong to the same, like there's other things in common that you have with them that necessitate communication. Sure, you can have a great conversation and make friends. If the only thing that binds you together with this person is the fact that you're apostolic, single, and both on the same dating app,
Yeah.
any communication that you have with them is talking
Yes,
for the
100%.
purposes of finding a dating partner,
Yeah.
right? Um, okay, so the thing that I've heard several times recently, I feel like it's kind of like these things like happen in waves where like I'll see like a few conversations at once that kind of are about the same topic. I've spoken to several people recently about early talking relationships, right? Or interactions with someone that seem to be going really well, right? All signs are pointing to this person seems really interested in getting to know me better. This person seems really invested in this connection. And then all of a sudden, there's a change where the person is no longer interested or lets them know, hey, I'm not actually looking for a relationship right now, or I was just here to be friends, or basically, like, kind of according to the person I'm hearing it from, pulls the rug out from under them.
Yeah.
And makes them feel like almost like they've been gaslit, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I never thought this was a dating interaction to begin with or whatever. So I asked before we did this, I did a little like citizen science research
Yeah.
on our Instagram. If you guys haven't picked this up, like I'm usually posting things about our topic on Instagram. Not always, because we're
Yeah.
not always that organized about it. But I'm usually kind of like pre-setting the topic in Instagram to just see how people respond to it. So we posted a couple things about this topic, and I put up a poll in our stories asking, should should talking be exclusive, right? When you're talking to someone, should you be committing to only talking to one person at a time? And the opinions were split
Like down the middle.
pretty much. I mean, I had three options. I had yes, absolutely, like I'm not sure, or like I'm on the fence, and then no, right? Almost in thirds, like 30-ish% for each one.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious to me because there wasn't a clear pattern of like which age groups were choosing which one, even like gender split. I think typically guys tend to feel a little bit less likely to say that talking should be exclusive, but I don't know that for a fact.
Less likely to say that it should be exclusive.
Yeah, so guys are more likely to say that they could talk to multiple people at the
Okay.
same time
Okay.
and it wouldn't be a big deal, generally. But not
Yeah.
every guy said that. Like there were some guys who said the opposite. We're going to talk about that because I think that people are interpreting what it means to be talking to someone wildly differently, and it's causing a lot of miscommunication and tension. You said something a minute ago that I want to call out that was important.
Okay.
How long did you say the talking stage should last?
I mean, ideally a few weeks.
Yeah, like it's not a long time.
No. Talking in the sense of not saying you have to like make it official of
Mm,
like you're dating, but at least declare intention.
yes,
Like, hey, I like you. I'm not like this isn't like a informal like me asking to be my girlfriend, but I do want to know, let you know, I want to get to know you more.
right. Yeah, there
It
needs to
doesn't have to be
be
that cringy, but
but a direct is really good,
yeah,
right? Like there needs to be some indicator at this point of like, hey, I'm not just here to be friends. I'm here to have a conversation with you about dating.
yeah. So we actually had someone on the Discord mention that they recognized your polls
Mm,
and that it usually correlates with the podcast episode. But he actually gave his perspective of saying that Um, Usually talking, I think, is okay to not be exclusive.
Hmm.
But generally speaking, if you're making suggestions about like wanting to come and visit and hang out and get to know someone,
Right.
then that's usually a sign of, hey, a declared intention, right?
Right.
Um, but if you end up finding out after spending time with that person, they like went out of their way to come visit you, that
Mm.
they're also talking to someone, then it feels weird. It feels like why would you do that to me? And that's where
Right.
the gaslight comes in. But at the same time, the first thing I thought of was, what if I was like, you should have just declared intention to begin with? Like why is it like
Right.
reading minds? Like, hey, like I like you, I'm talking to you, like let's get to know each other more.
Right. And
So
I think this whole episode could be boiled down to just say, like, you have to have clearly set expectations, which is
yeah,
like
clear expectations.
all of
I
dating,
feel like
basically.
declaring intentions like too
No,
lawyery,
I
but
like declaring intention because it says it requires a level of initiative, right?
yeah,
And like, let's just give everybody grace here for a minute, okay? If you are an apostolic person and you're in a modern dating scenario where you've met somebody online or you've met somebody through Synchrony, you know little to nothing about their personality, right? Like, you haven't probably interacted with them in person before. It's not like someone who goes to your local church or someone that you grew up with where you have a long history of knowing what they're like, how to navigate the world around them, what their personalities are like, right? So, this is a landscape that is rife for confusion. It's also a landscape where intention is very difficult to ascertain because our communication is mostly text based.
yeah,
So if you're DMing someone or texting them, just from your phone or messaging them somewhere, it's very difficult to read intention,
yeah,
right? So let's just give grace here and say that this is difficult.
yeah. And on top of that, I also understand that like life isn't black and white, where like you could be talking to someone and
Hmm.
someone comes out of nowhere that you didn't expect to be talking to, and then you see interest in them as well,
Right.
and this other person hasn't declared intention, and so you're like now in this where like, well, I don't necessarily want to let go of this person, but I also want to get to know this person,
Yeah.
and but you never like got to be official with either one. So I can understand that it gets messy and it's not clear cut.
Sure.
So like we're not saying that any person who talks to multiple people is a bad person, because I can totally see the justification. My issue, and we'll get into it, is more about how long you let that go for.
Right. And a lack of clarity about the actions that you're taking in that talking interaction and what they
Hmm.
mean. So I've said that this is a landscape that's rife to interpretation, but let's
Yeah.
talk about some general trends,
Yep.
right? Because I think there are some things that if you're dating in Western culture, you can make some safe assumptions. Excuse me,
Shum, 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 shum,
assumptions.
shum, shum.
Safe assumptions. You can make some safe assumptions about these
We
things.
gotta leave that in there.
Yeah. Um, because I think that they're pretty universal,
Yeah.
right? And if you are listening to this and you have purposefully ignored some of these things in order to talk to some people, you might need to check yourself, right?
Yes.
So if you are um in your interactions with them saying things like, I could see myself dating you, I could see us really working out, I could see us getting married, I could see us doing ministry together. If you are talking about a future with this person,
Yes.
you have declared intention,
Yeah. 100%.
right? If you're talking about,
But I
uh,
didn't say, will you be my girlfriend?
yeah, like
Or will you be my boyfriend?
there's not a court transcriber
Yeah.
watching your interactions with this person, like, let the record show that defendant said, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, there's not someone taking notes about your interactions, and nobody is looking to like prove or disprove the legal line of what you're saying. If you are painting a picture of the future for this person, you have declared intention,
Yes.
right? So I think that's one line, right? If
Yeah.
if you are not ready to start dating this person, don't start talking about a future of marriage and kids and family and stuff. Like, that is a clear sign. You mentioned before, like, if you've made plans to go visit them,
Yeah.
right? I would say if you are um investing a significant amount of money and time into the interaction, you are declaring intention.
Yeah.
And that means if you're having to travel hours and hours and you are, buying them meals or gifts or you're paying for plane tickets or whatever, that is a demonstration of intention.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. If you're asking them to do that for you, like, oh, could you come visit me? Like, you are asking them to demonstrate an intent to get to know you.
Yeah.
So you can't pretend that if someone is shelling out hundreds of dollars for gas or plane tickets, that they are invested in this as more than a friendship.
Yeah.
Right.
On top of that, I think, and like and I don't want to go through every single scenario because I feel like the goal is to teach you to recognize the signs
Right.
more than it is to call out individual scenarios.
Mm.
But like also if you're introducing this person to your family,
Yeah.
like if they're not already friends of the family,
if you're like, come meet my pastor and pastor's wife and come meet my mom, or come meet my children.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm laying out these things not to make an exhaustive list of what the difference between talking and dating is.
Yeah.
I'm laying these out to establish that there are some universal signs.
Yeah.
That we should all be saying the same things about. Right.
For sure.
And so I think those are clear ones where it's like if someone is really investing and bringing you into their life, into their relationships, into their family, into their future, that is a declaration of intention.
Yeah.
Right. At that point, you should have already had the discussion of, hey, does this seem like a feasible dating relationship? What would it take? What else do you need to know about me to know if we could date? Right. Like,
yeah.
We're past that point already, but that would be a clear sign. So it is not okay for you to be doing those things and then afterwards be like, oh, I never thought we were talking. I didn't think we were dating. Like those are shared understandings in Western culture that those are dating acts. Same thing of any kind of intimate physical contact, which we shouldn't be doing a lot of anyway. Sure. But I don't mean like nasty physical contact. I mean, if you're holding hands with someone while walking through a mall or
putting your arm around them,
right? Anything like that, it is a sign that you are dating them.
Yeah, it's and I think I have the thing that I think a lot of people have experienced. The ones that specifically who've gotten hurt are the ones who felt like they've been gaslit, and I know there are some people out there. I'm hoping not as many, but there are some people that have these conversations and are truly ignorant of what that does for the other person's emotions.
Yeah.
I think there are some naive people out there or ignorant or all the above. But so but I'm going to say there are exceptions to the rule. If you're having these intense conversations or even not super intense, but like dreamy conversations of like talking about the future together. And then at the end of it, when you realize like, oh, you know what, I'm actually going to go talk to this other girl. And then you gaslight them saying, you know what, I didn't ever really want to date you to begin with. One, you need to go pray. Two, it's better to be honest.
Right.
And like, this going back to the concept of, even though technically you weren't dating, break up like an apostolic. Like you're still apostolic. You still have that is your sister or brother in Christ.
100%. And they deserve clarity. Someone the other day said, actually it was on a Synchrony match conversation, which they ended up matching, by the way. So we'll see how that goes. But I remember saying, do you guys have any other questions for each other, whatever? And she goes, no, I think we asked all the questions. We were really clear. And she's like, clarity is kind. And it's true.
It's true.
Like you have to be clear about your intentions. And
I feel like that should be like posted right here. Clarity is kind.
Yeah, for real. And you can be honest. Like, so this happened to us. I don't know if you remember this when we were first talking.
Yes. I totally remember.
A decade ago.
Yeah.
No, so when we were first talking, again, like we went on several dates that I didn't know were dates, right? Yes. And like we were hanging out and I wasn't like, the signs weren't all that clear, y'all, because like I was paying for my food and Brad was there for a couple of them.
Yeah. So again, you can be talking.
Yeah.
And not paying for food.
Right.
I was not necessarily declaring intention, but I was like, we hadn't hung out ever before this one-on-one.
Anyway.
And out of nowhere in 2 weeks, we'd hung out like 5 times.
I just thought you thought I was really cool. And
Remember
so
the oblivious people we were talking about?
it's okay to be oblivious. But at some point you did declare intention.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and you came and said, hey,
At the suggestion of my pastor.
well, you came to me and said, hey, I would like to take you out to dinner. Like that was how
Yeah.
you framed it. Like
Yeah.
I would like to take you out to eat. Are you okay with that? And I said, I would love to go with you. I do want to let you know though that I have been texting this other person.
Yeah.
Because at the same
And
time,
I was like, challenge accepted.
well, at the same time, I had happened to like virtually meet this other person. I think like, I don't know,
On
Facebook
a
or
dating
something.
app?
No, it was on
Mhm.
Facebook. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember how.
Full circle.
Yeah, he lived not terribly far away. Happily married now. Congratulations, guys. But I don't remember how it happened. But we had started talking. Maybe like I think a mutual friend might have
Yeah.
introduced us or something. So we'd been talking a little bit, and we actually had plans to meet up for coffee.
Mhm.
Because he lived kind of in between where we were and my parents, right? So on my next trip up home, I was going to stop by and get coffee, right?
Yeah.
And so that plan had already been set. I already had
Yeah, I
this
know.
date coming up.
I was panicking about that date, by the way.
Yeah. So
Because my pastor already says, like, you better, like, he didn't say, like, nail it down, but he's basically like, declare your intentions right now because she's going to go to college and someone smarter than you is going to realize how awesome she is
yeah,
and pick her up right away. And I'm like, and then you're like, oh, I have this coffee date. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Is it first come, first serve? Like, how does this work?
it is not. So the way it worked was, and at the time, just to like lay this, kind of transparently for everyone so they know what this is like, right?
Yeah.
Like I had met this guy virtually. We had talked a little bit, but like we had not interacted heavily, right? It was like
Yeah.
a little bit of talking here or there. We suggested, I think I might have been the one to suggest like, hey, do you want to grab coffee next time I drive through your area? And he was like, sure. But there wasn't an overt level of interest, right? You and I had hung out several times. We had these great conversations.
Yeah, apparently you didn't know I was interested.
I wasn't sure until you asked me out to
You're like,
eat.
oh.
And I was like, oh, I get it now. So I was really excited that you had asked me out because you and I had a much richer connection going at the same time.
Yeah.
I was still talking to this other person. And in that moment, I felt responsible to give you the clarity to know, hey, you are trying to make this an overt dating interaction, and I am on board with that. I would like to be overtly dating you, right? This is like, I recognize that you are attempting to overtly date me, and I would like to reciprocate your invitation to date overtly.
This is what I imagine a relationship with Data would be like.
Nobody knows that reference except for
Only cool people know that reference. If you know, comment below.
it's a Star Trek
No,
reference.
you're not supposed to tell them. They're supposed to. The cool people are supposed to comment.
We can't leave out everybody else on Earth,
They
which is
can Google it.
the
There's
ma-
Chat GPT.
the majority
I'm
of
gonna
people.
blurb out what she said.
Nobody knows.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Easter eggs.
Okay, so I can recognize the subtext of our conversation was you going, hello, I would like to officially and overtly date you. And I was like, I would also like to officially and overtly date you. However, I have also been not officially and not yet overtly in conversation around dating with this other person.
It sounded nothing like this, but this is the stuff that came across.
If we were like Martians, this is what
Yeah.
it would be like.
Sure.
Right? Like this is happening on the side.
Yep.
So if you're interacting
Which,
with,
by the way, was a total attraction factor for me.
right,
Because what I desired more than anything was clear communication out of someone.
and it was attractive to me that you did not immediately get offended
Oh, no.
and start being like, I can't believe you would be talking to me and talking to him at the same time. Once again, nobody had overtly asked me out, right?
No.
Like, so
Survival of the fittest.
no, but it was attractive to me that you didn't make it a competition.
Yeah.
Like you might have felt that it was a competition or whatever.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. There was a part of me that was like, it's going to sound, I'm sorry, it's going to sound terrible. This is what popped in my head. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's when I see some, this is going to be terrible. I see something on Facebook Marketplace
Uh-huh.
and I really, really want it. I see it's an amazing deal and I want it. And I put in an offer, but there's someone a line ahead of me. And that's what I was worried about, is that the seller was going to go to the person ahead in line.
Are you comparing me to like
Yes, I am.
some grungy tool on Facebook Marketplace?
No, you're a very, very shiny, high quality tool.
Great. Anyway, the point here Good Lord.
I'm so sorry.
Is that the clarity was attractive. Okay.
Yes.
It was attractive to you that I was willing to divulge that, like, hey, I was involved in talking to other people, right?
Yeah.
And it was attractive to me that you didn't treat that as a threat. You didn't start like, oh, well, how tall is he? You didn't start trying to make it like a comparison game. You didn't seem insecure about that at all.
Yeah.
You were like, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. Like, I'd still like to take you out was something like what you said.
Yeah.
And it happened that in the interim between when you asked me and when we were supposed to go out, the other guy canceled.
I know. I was so happy.
Yeah.
When you told me that, I was like, whoo.
Yeah, it worked out great. So
the person backed out of the offer.
Yeah. Can you please stop talking about me like I am a Ryobi battery pack?
It just fits so well in the situation.
Okay, so the takeaway here is that if you are someone who's interacting with someone on a dating app, or in a singles Facebook group, right, and you've been messaging them consistently for weeks, and you've been talking about activities you could go do together, or places that you could get together and hang out at, or introducing them to people in your life, they are not crazy for thinking that you are interested in them.
Yeah.
And if your interest changes or shifts and you say, hey, I just want to let you know, this has been really, really fun. There's another opportunity that I need to focus on right now. I hope that that's okay. I appreciate your time. That is much more respectable than just ghosting someone and not talking to them anymore. Like
this whole like world adjacent dating style. Like if you're like talking to someone, leading them on, then leaving, talking to someone else, coming back to that person again, going back and forth. Like, y'all have a conversation with Jesus. Like he's that's not something that he would advise you to do.
No, and it's weird to me because it's like, and it happens to people of both genders. So
yeah, it's not just men or women.
Right. Women are ghosting men are ghosting women. We're hearing about it from both sides, right? So it's not exclusive to one or the other. But the weird part about it to me is like, it feels like people who ghost are either thinking like, oh, if I don't explicitly say that I'm not interested anymore, then I'm still leaving this door open, right? You're not. You are lighting the bridge on fire on your way out of the door.
Well, maybe not.
For a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. But what I mean is for the people who, like, I think initially, no, I think you're right. But if enough time goes by and that person circles back around, I think some people would entertain it.
Some people would, but not without a lot of misgivings.
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm not saying it's a healthy choice. I'm not saying it's the right choice.
No, if you've been talking to someone consistently for a while and you disappear on them, like if you've been messaging them or texting them every day and saying good morning and talking about meeting up, and all of a sudden it's crickets.
Yeah,
like that leaves a bad taste in someone's mouth, right? So you're not saving yourself any face by doing that. No. You're making it worse. It would be much more respectable to say, hey, I've really enjoyed our conversations, but I need to shift my focus to something else. Or, hey, there's another opportunity that's come up, and as much as I've valued this, like this one seems like a better fit for me right now. I hope you don't have any hard feelings, right? That's not easy to say, and it's not easy to hear, but it's much less painful and less like anxiety inducing than just leaving somebody on red who you've been consistently talking to.
Absolutely.
Right? So, okay, we've talked around like what this issue is and what it means. Let's actually give some advice about how to handle this a little bit, right? So, you've started talking to someone. Let's assume it's in a space that lends itself to a dating interaction, right? So, a Facebook group, a dating app, through a synchrony conversation, right? And you guys have been talking for a few weeks. After a few weeks, you should ask. If you are not sure about someone's intentions, you should ask.
Yeah. One, it'll give you a ton of peace of mind to know, oh, this person is interested in talking to me if they say yes. And two, it helps give you a path forward, and it kind of clears out the risk of like getting hurt, right? Because what happened, what I mean by that is being in the talking zone is
Mhm.
constantly, and I've been in the past, it's like walking on eggshells.
'Cause you kinda, like, don't know where you stand.
Yeah, and so by declaring that intentions, I feel like it's not, obviously the relationship could go south. I'm not saying that's not, that it couldn't happen, but now you can build on a foundation of, okay, I am
Mm,
investing in this person to see if I want to date them, and they know
right.
that.
Well, like, this whole idea of being official to me is was really weird, and it's very, very new, right? Like, the idea like, going steady and being official is, like, early to mid 1900s, like 1930s, 1940s, 1950s. So I'm
I
not
mean,
saying it's brand new.
like declaring courtship.
Well, so prior to that, you didn't really have a long period of dating before you got married, right?
Yeah.
There was no such thing as dating a ton of different people at the same time. If you were getting courted, you were getting a proposal,
Okay, so
right?
it's talking, proposal, married.
Right. Like, and it was usually like courting, which was like the family's all in on it, and then proposal and then marriage, right? There's not a lot of in between.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Your dating was like staring across the aisle at church up until like the early to mid 1900s. And then this idea that you could be seeing and going steady with different people at the same time without any of them having particular ownership of you was very normal. So, this idea of like, we're going to mark a date on which we suddenly become officially a couple, not a married couple, a dating couple, to the not an engaged couple, a dating couple. Like that's new, right?
Yeah.
It's not super old. So I don't really care about people labeling themselves as official, but I do care about them having a clear set of goals and expectations laid out.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I mean, because for the people who are oblivious,
Mhm.
it sets an expectation of, hey, I'm expecting you to be exclusive.
Well, and here's how I think this needs to happen, right? So you've been talking to someone for a couple of weeks. It's time to have a conversation about where they are with this, right? And just to kind of frame this out, how it could work, saying something like, hey, I am really enjoying getting to know you. But for my own peace of mind, I want to understand what your expectations are here.
Yeah.
Do you see this as a potential dating relationship? Right? No pressure. This isn't me asking to be, your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I just want to understand, do you see the potential for us to potentially date here? Right?
Yeah.
Or you can, my favorite framing for this question is, I'm really enjoying getting to know you. What else would you need to know about me in order to know if we could be a dating couple, if we could
Yeah.
date, right?
See, and this is where you pause, because knowing what we've learned from Synchrony
Mm,
is a lot of people don't actually know what they want going forward
right,
out of a dating partner.
right.
So that might scare some people away.
Yeah, and
Because it requires people to think critically about what they want and what they value.
right. And hopefully this is a person that you've built some trust with and some transparency with over the course of the last few weeks as you've been chatting with them, right?
Yeah.
So you ask the question about their intention. If they say, I do see potential here for dating in the future, then it's time to ask about expectations, right? If you feel the same way, okay, great. I see it too, right? I would love to consider whether or not we could date. From my understanding, are you the type of person who believes that we should only be talking to each other, or do you feel like it's okay for one or the other of us to be talking to other people at the same time? Like, have the conversation and don't make it judgy. Don't make it, well, I just want you to know that I think that this means that we're only talking to each other and that if one of us were to talk to more people, we'd be cheating, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Because talking is not, this is important, especially for my ladies out there. Someone talking to you is not someone choosing you. That might feel a little bit hard to hear, right? Women in our society and culture are really hungry to be chosen by someone.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's exacerbated by the gender disparity in the church. But women have been primed, have been trained that the right person, the one, is going to pick them out of a crowd and say, it's you, right? Out of all the other women, out of all the other people, I have
I mean,
chosen
we've
you.
heard it at every sermon, every other like exciting, romantic evangelist story about their wife.
Yeah, I mean, we have our own mythology for
Yeah,
this.
sure.
The world has its own mythology for this, right? But women are hungry for that love story, right? Of being selected. It's especially true, I think, for women or people in general who haven't had much opportunity to date, right? they're really hungry for someone to say, yes, you're it. Like, you're the one that I want to talk to and the one I want to spend time with, right? Someone talking to you over a messaging app, over texting, even calling you or FaceTiming you does not mean that they are choosing you until they have said so.
Yeah.
And you are not obligated to treat them as a boyfriend or girlfriend, or to treat them as a partner until they have expressed their intention. So, and you don't have to wait around for that to happen, right? It's not like a proposal where you're supposed to be surprised, right? It is maybe not as cute and romantic to ask about all these things out in the open, but it's much easier, and it makes life much, much easier to just say, hey, I see potential here to date. Do you? Great. Do you feel like we should be exclusive right now in terms of who we're talking to?
Yeah, that's something I want to make sure is pointed out. Is I think some women expect that to be pursued by the man,
Mm,
and honestly, let's get over the gender roles of that stuff, because clear
yeah.
communication is going to set up for a much healthier marriage.
Yeah.
So
It's fine for either
if
party.
he does it, great. But if it gets to a point where you're like, well, I'm kind of questioning whether
Mhm.
this is what I think it is, set up for a conversation.
Yeah. Don't trust yourself to read their mind.
No, guys, stop being guys and girls. Stop expecting people to like assume they know what you're thinking.
Because we make these assumptions because we believe that people have had the same exposures that we have had to what normal dating is, right?
Yeah.
And in today's day and society, you cannot guarantee that that's the case,
Yeah.
right? You don't know if they have been trained, especially again, if they're not someone from your local circle, not someone that you've interacted with before in person, if you're meeting them online, if they live in a different part of the country or a different part of the world, you do not know what they have been trained to see as official,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So you have to ask. It's got to be a topic of communication. And yeah, you're right. It's fine for a guy or a girl to ask that question.
Yeah.
And it's okay when you do that. I think you want to create a conversation that feels very safe. So you're not trying to back them into a corner or accuse them of something, right?
No.
It's not, well, I noticed that you have other messages from other people, or I
Yeah.
noticed that it's, hey, I'm glad that you think we have the potential to date too. I would love to think about that with you. Just so you know, I am not talking to anybody else, right? I tend to think that when I'm talking to someone, I want to focus on one person at a time.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Invite their curiosity to have a conversation about it. So, one thing that might not be clear, I'm realizing as we're talking about this, is I think it's 100% fine to feel like the talking phase should be exclusive. And I also think it's 100% fine to feel like it's not.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have not made any promises or commitments to somebody when you're just getting to know them in the first few weeks.
Yep.
And I think it is okay to have the opinion that no, I need to be focused on one person at a time. And I'm not the type of person who's going to be talking to multiple people, because then I won't be giving any of them my enough attention. And I need to understand if this person's an option, and if not, move on. That's a perfectly valid perspective to have. That's the one we sort of encourage people to take with Synchrony,
Yeah.
because we don't want to create situations in our community of people where multiple people are talking to the same person and it becomes like a
Game of Bachelorette.
hungry hippos or something like but I think it's also fine to be of the opinion of like, hey, until someone has declared intention, we are just getting to know each other.
Yes.
And it's okay to be getting to know a handful of people. You probably shouldn't be sending, like, copy pasting the same message to hundreds of people,
No.
because that just doesn't seem like you're going to get enough value out of any of those interactions, right? Like, I don't believe in the mindset of like, I'm just going to plaster the same message across an entire dating app of anyone in the right age group to better my odds, right?
No.
You need to do better searching than that, and better narrowing of the field than that for yourself, right? But I'm of the opinion that it's not immoral before you're dating officially, before you've made any kind of commitment, to have a few people that you're interacting with and getting to know.
Yeah. And that's just naturally how it works usually, because you're, going to a church event here and you meet this
Right.
person and they're nice, and you go to said outreach event there
Mhm.
and their person's there. So like you're going to be having people that you're like getting to know.
Right.
But it's once that the intention has been intentionally declared, or
Mhm.
maybe even unintentionally declared. Like
Mhm.
I think there should be clarification either way.
Right. And for the context on Synchrony, like if someone is in our pipeline and they say, hey, I've met someone and I'm kind of talking to them, I usually will tell them, "All right, why don't you go see how that's gonna go before I match you with somebody else?"
Yeah.
Not because I think it's immoral for them to do both, but just because it takes a lot of investment of time and energy to
For
set
you
up.
and the people you're trying to set up with.
Right, to set
Yeah.
up an interaction with someone in Synchrony, and I don't wanna
Yeah.
waste anybody's time.
Yeah.
I wanna save that opportunity for someone who's positioned to step into that relationship, right?
Yep.
So, that's why we do it the way we do it with Synchrony. We're trying to not create confusion within the community of our clients. But out and about in your social settings with other
In the
apostolics
wild.
in the wild, it's totally fine to be interacting with someone whose opinion about whether or not talking is exclusive might be vastly different than your own. They're not a bad person for feeling that. And you need to be able to have a really measured conversation with them. I've had people who feel like talking to multiple people is a form of betrayal.
Yeah.
And I think that's a
That's not
little
the
bit extreme.
yeah, it is.
And they might have history that lends itself to that, or they might have, you know, they might have there's might be complexities in their past that make them kind of primed for that. But I don't think that most people who talk to multiple people are trying to play the field or be disingenuous. I'm sure there are some, but I don't think that's the majority of people. I think there might be a good amount of people who have, I mean, just like I did, a couple of opportunities present themselves at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're not an immoral person for having more than one dating opportunity available to
No, of
you.
course not.
You are an immoral person if you purposefully hide the fact that you are having those interactions from other people.
And you're continually leading both of or multiple of them on.
Right. Now, if you, quick caveat here, because this has happened. If you are officially dating someone and you are posting pictures of yourselves together on social media and you've changed your social media status to say that you have a significant other, and then you're coming to me for matchmaking,
It's happened.
I will say no.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
Yeah. That is immoral because
Yes.
you are expressing that you are available when you have made it clear to someone else that you are not.
Yeah, we've had some people basically say like, "Oh, well, we're not married, but I definitely want to
Right.
get to know other people, see what options I have available to me." We're like, "Yo, you're playing the field, dude."
Right. If you have said to someone, "I am interested in exclusively dating you,"
Yeah.
and then you turn around and start looking for other options,
Yeah.
then you have lied to them.
Yeah.
And that is wrong.
Yeah.
But if you have not made any kind of commitment to anybody or expressed intention to exclusively date them, you're not a bad person for entertaining a couple of different connections at once. You just need to be very clear about that with them. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I do see potential for dating you, but you know what? I am in conversation with a couple of other people. And right now I don't have clarity about whether any of them is more of a legitimate dating option than the other. Do you have questions that I should be asking or things that you're curious about that would help me understand why we may or may not be a good fit for each other? Like, use that as a stepping stone to what conversations have we not had yet?
Yeah.
Right? What information do we both still need out of this interaction to understand if there's a future here? And try to have those conversations. Like when when we frame this out for people in Synchrony, we say, you should know after 2 months of interacting regularly whether or not this person is someone you want to date.
Yeah.
You don't have to be ready to propose.
That means you should be asking some hard questions.
Right.
Not like, and that way you get to know them well
Mhm.
enough to say, "Hey, this is a potential marriage relationship."
Right. Like, because dating is the purpose of
Yeah.
dating is to get married. We're not saying that after 2 months you need to know that you're ready to walk down the aisle,
No.
but you need to know enough at that point to say, yes, I see this person as a viable potential match. And I'm ready to step into the real work of making sure that we're right for each other,
Yeah.
which is what I think official dating is.
Yeah. What about to the people who have been talking for a really long time?
Like situationship
Yeah,
style.
basically situationships, and like to help guide them in the direction of either clarity
Mhm.
or breaking it off. Like basically, because I think it's either one of those two things. It's
Yeah.
either we define what this is and we make it official, or we say, "Okay, I'm going my separate way."
Well, we have a whole episode on going from talking to dating, so definitely go back and check that out. It's an earlier one,
No, I know.
but I think the short and sweet of it is you have to have a transparent conversation about it, and you have to be willing, and this is where it gets hard, to express what you want,
Yeah.
knowing that there's a chance that the other person might not want the same thing,
Yeah.
you know?
But you have to ask yourself,
Mhm.
Is it worth lingering for that amount of time,
Yeah.
walking on eggshells, battling your own insecurities during that time? Because that's really what it is.
Mhm.
Is you're literally holding your self-esteem up and saying, what if I lose this person?
Right.
I might lose him. I might not be worth it to him,
Mhm.
or her. Sorry. And um, lingering in that weird space, or finally having clarity,
Mhm.
whether it's good or bad,
Right.
and moving forward with your life,
Right.
either together or preparing yourself, allowing yourself to heal from that interaction, that relationship, and preparing a way for someone else to come into your life.
Right. If you have a relationship that you are so emotionally invested in that you're too scared to ask whether or not you're dating, you're already in over your head.
Yeah.
Like if it has become such a significant relationship to you that you are scared to ask direct questions about whether or not you guys are actually together, then you've been in this undefined relationship for way too long.
Yeah. And honestly, that's a terrible foundation for a relationship, for a marriage, anyways.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, if and I'm not saying you can't have a productive, good marriage and learn, but you're setting up yourself up for having very unclear communications for the rest of your
Right.
relationship, unless you guys both really work on it together.
Right. So the takeaway from this is the takeaway for everything about dating, which is don't be afraid to ask direct questions. You
Yeah.
don't have to grill somebody. You're not trying to
No.
interrogate them, but there are ways to respectfully and gently ask for clarity. I think people just need to be willing to sort of express what they're looking for, right? And know that if the other person comes back with an answer that feels disingenuous, that feels like it's cagey or like they're not giving you a clear answer, right? It's okay to say that.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate what you said, but I still don't have clarity about what you want here,
Yeah.
right? Thanks for that compliment, but I still don't know what that means about
Yeah.
whether or not you can see a future here. And I'm not trying to pressure you. I just want to make sure I'm not holding you against expectations that you don't share, right?
Yeah.
It's a form of kindness.
Yeah.
So be prepared if you're please, if you're on a dating app, if you're interacting with someone and someone messages you and you start messaging them back, even though you're not sure how it's going to go, be prepared for that interaction, right? And don't be shocked when they're like, "Hey, would you like to go get dinner?" And you're like, "Oh, no, I thought we were just friends." You're on a dating app, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going to put on our big boy pants and skirts and be willing to say,
Big girl skirts, not big boy skirts.
fair, big girl skirts, and be willing to say like, hey, you know, I hear this from what you're saying. I don't know that I share that expectation. This is my expectation for this interaction. How does that map to what you expect?
Yeah.
Right. It sounds very clinical, but I promise you it will save you a ton of headache down the road.
Yeah. And remember to always be respectful.
Yeah.
And also, the fruit of the spirit applies outside of just spiritual interactions.
Hmm.
Like, you are a child of God, and if they decide to say, "No, I don't want to date you,"
Hmm.
don't go all crazy on them, and just be respectful and say, "Thank you for your time."
Yeah.
Well, then I guess that, we're going to continue not talking to you, because, or
Right.
I'm going to start going forward. I'm not going to continue talking to you.
I actually have a great story about this,
Okay.
from someone who was one of our clients, and she's now engaged. We did not match her with the person she's engaged to, but we built a great relationship working with her. And so when she started dating this person, she called me and told me the story, and it was really cool. So she was on a dating app and connected with someone, and they were messaging for a while, and they had a conversation of, "Hey, do you see this going anywhere?"
Yeah.
Right? And both of them said, "Probably not, but this has been really great. I really appreciate your time." And the guy actually said, "Hey, like basically like I have a friend that I think would actually really enjoy getting to know you. Would it be weird if I tried to connect you guys?" I love this man, right? Like I'm like, this is the kind of brotherhood we need, right? Where you're
Yeah,
like,
that's a wingman right
yeah,
there.
you're like, not for me, but I could see you fitting in really well with my good friend, right? So I don't remember exactly how it all worked out, but somehow he got the good friend in touch with her, and they connected and rode off into the sunset together, and they're getting married. And
That's awesome.
And I thought it was just the most beautiful thing that somebody would say, that they would have enough respect for each other that after that conversation of, I don't think we're right for each other, the other person could still say, hey, but I think this guy would be great for you.
Yeah.
And her be humble enough to say, oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And it lead to this beautiful connection. And it made me feel so good about like both like her maturity and just the spirit that everyone had in that interaction. We should strive for that as Christians because you
Yeah.
never know who that other person is connected to,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like you didn't love the interaction you had with them over a dating app, but you don't know who else is in their circle. And we benefit from caring for each other, even if we don't end up dating each other,
Yeah.
you know?
And one, you never know if that person is going to end up being a fellow minister's wife that you have to work side by side in the future.
Right.
And two, if they are rude to you,
hmm
that doesn't give you permission to be rude to them.
100%. Yeah.
So
Right.
it's
It's kindergarten logic. Do unto
well,
others.
it should be kindergarten logic.
Right.
But
Okay, so hopefully, I hope that this gave you guys some nuggets of clarity. If you've been in one of these situations where you're trying to figure out where to go, just
yeah,
ask for what you need kindly, respectfully, and offer back what the other person needs in terms of clarity.
yeah.
Right. Uh, anything else you want to say about all that?
I don't think so.
Okay. By way of announcements, you guys should be getting an email from us if you are signed up to go on the cruise in February. Singles at Sea. If you haven't heard about this, we're going on a cruise and you can still come. There's still plenty of room on the boat. So Chelsea's information is down in the description if you want to check it out. But for those of you who have already signed up and reserved, our final payment deadline is coming up pretty soon. I want to say it's like November 14th or something along those lines. I'll actually put the actual date in the description so you guys know what's going on. You should have gotten some emails from Chelsea about that. If you haven't, let her know, reach out to her and make sure you've got all the information you need. But you'll also be hearing from us soon with some updates and plans for the cruise and everything like that. We're getting really excited about it. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we're so excited to go.
Can't wait. So definitely still sign up if you haven't yet. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be in the Bahamas for 3 days in February. And if you live in somewhere where there's ice and snow, it's a great time to escape to the Bahamas. So that's going to be awesome. And the only other thing is stay tuned for our end of year sale.
Yeah.
Coming up
soon.
Right. So if you're a guy, right now we have a freemium. So you could actually come in and trial the matching experience for free right now. But if you're one of our ladies that's been listening and holding out and trying to wait for a sale, the biggest sale that we'll do this year is coming starting Black Friday. So we'll have the information up about that shortly. You'll be able to sign up starting on Black Friday through the end of the year at a discounted rate. So please keep your eyes open for that.
And a little Easter egg. This is going to be a very special sale, very different sale.
Yeah, we do.
We'll give more information on that later.
Yeah, we do have some interesting plans in the works right now.
Yeah. And also, if you are a single or married man, or if you know of someone who wants to join a really cool group of guys who like to hang out and have cool conversations, join our Discord in the link below.
Yep. Hey. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for buying me ice cream earlier.
You're welcome. I'm sorry we got subpar food.
No, it was pretty good.
It was all right. Not for how expensive it was.
Yeah. But it was good. We went on a date. We did the things.
Yeah, we did.
Go us.
Go us.
Yeah, the ice cream made up for it. It was great.
It's true.
Yep. All right. I hope you guys have a great week.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.